You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars and by Wellington Anti-Aging. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
And now Golden State can dribble it out. A final standing ovation for the Warriors here at Oracle Arena. A dominant fourth quarter. And Golden State will head to Cleveland with a 2-0 finals lead.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Kind of saw that coming, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody did at that point in time.
Nothing surprising at all this whole series.
No? Nothing?
No,
Okay.
nothing at all. I mean, it's kind of what you expect going in, right? It's what you saw. You thought, okay, it was going to be impressive if it went to 5 games. It's still going to be impressive if it goes to 5 games.
Still is. And you know what? J.R. Smith screwing something up was on that list of things we expected.
This guy, honestly, you talk about how the finals, it stamps you forever with the legacy, or you just have that moment that you'll never live down. And J.R. Smith has had that moment. I mean, that's going to be, I can't imagine what he would have to do in his career now to erase. The first thing you're going to forever think of when somebody mentions in 10 years, you'll say J.R. Smith, and you think, oh, yeah, Game 1, NBA Finals.
Yeah. I mean, he's Bill Buckner now, right? I mean, it's that kind of moment.
You've etched yourself into finals history.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's too bad because, you argue like a Bill Buckner arguably is a really good player who had one really bad moment, and now Bill Buckner, it's like an action verb.
Yes.
Bucknerd.
And it's going to be the same thing with like a J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, you really J.R. Smith that one?
Exactly. Chris Webber. I mean, all these guys that come to mind.
Yeah.
Bartman wasn't a player, but these are guys who screwed things up.
Yeah, forever going to be known for that. Yeah, I don't know what else you can do. And, I think the only way that maybe we could forget about J.R. Smith's Game 1 is just that maybe he's that awful and he's got many more surprises up his sleeves. That might be it. You might forget about Game 1 because he'll do something horrendous in Game 3 or Game 4.
I was going to say, what do you think? He's David Blaine?
It's very possible. He could do something even worse. Yeah, it's just, gosh.
I'd love to see him do something worse.
I honestly, I
He
would like
comes up
see
to the foul line with, like, blow on his nose.
This is the Vegas line I'd like to see. Can J.R. Smith do something dumber than he did in Game 1?
It's a good one.
Is it possible? Because he didn't have a great Game 2. He went 2 for 9, and even after the game, had this to say about his performance.
How would you personally assess your performance tonight?
Terrible.
Okay, terrible.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much sums it up.
Thank you, JR.
I think we already got that, but, thanks for elaborating.
Yeah, he was bad. Pretty much everybody was bad, though. LeBron did not get a lot of help. Kevin Love's about the only guy who's doing anything at all. He got 22. LeBron had 29. And people are kind of all over LeBron about like, ugh. But, I mean, hey, what's this guy got to do? Score 50 points every single game?
I mean, it seems like the only way he's going to be able to almost win.
Yes. Almost. You have to score 51 to almost win.
Almost win. Maybe 60 would be better.
How bad were the Cavs? The Cavs had 19 open shots, and they made 3.
Holy guacamole, that's terrible.
That's not a very good stat line.
That's bad if you're playing a game of horse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the other side, Steph Curry's lighting up everything he tosses in the air.
This guy, no, you're right. That's such what a dichotomy between the two, right? You have the Cavs who are just awful in that game, and then you have Steph Curry who sets an NBA record with 9 made three-pointers in a finals game.
Yeah.
Regardless of how the season went, that's a pretty cool deal to accomplish, knowing who's held the record for, what was that, probably 6-8 years. But at the end of the day, it's all about trying to get a win and doing whatever you can to make that happen. I always say, like, if we focus on that, good things happen individually all across the board. So I never woke up and was like, all right, let's go get 9 threes and get the record.
After 2 games, who's your finals MVP right now? Steph Curry or LeBron James? Can LeBron James win it by losing?
That has happened before, right?
A long time ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I couldn't think of the name of actually who it happened to, but honestly, it's like if he holds on every game and is really the sole reason why they're even close, I would think you would have to give it to LeBron.
Only if it went 7 games.
If it went 7 games, yeah. If it doesn't go 7 games, then yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, because everybody seems to forget what the MVP means, and that's the most valuable player.
Oh, yeah. 100%, which would mean LeBron should win every single year.
So there's no doubt. I mean, there's no question. I mean, you really can't argue this. Yeah,
No.
you got to be impressed with what Steph Curry did, but let's say Steph Curry wasn't playing right now for the Warriors. They still have a good chance of still beating the Cavs, do they not?
This is true. There's
So,
a bit
I mean-
better squad.
That alone doesn't make you an MVP. I mean, do the Cavs stand any chance of even being close if LeBron's not playing?
The Cavs wouldn't make the playoffs if LeBron wasn't playing.
Exactly. So we've already established this. So there's
in
no
the
argument,
East,
right?
In the East, they might make the playoffs, but
But even in losing, LeBron should be the Finals MVP.
You can't though. I mean, you can't give it to a guy
Why
who lost.
can't you?
The
Yeah,
last
you
time
can.
the
Why
last time
can't
they
you?
did it was Jerry West. I thought it was Jerry West, but I looked up to make sure it was Jerry
went
West.
to his notes.
That's
Okay.
how long ago it was. I used the Google machine. I had to. I wanted to make sure it was right.
But if you're ever going to do it, this has got to be the time you do it, right?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, if it goes 7 games, it's pretty great. But still, even if it goes 6, if they avoid getting swept by this team that is 1,000 times better than any team they've played this season, I mean, I still think you have to put him into consideration, considering of what he did.
the only chance you can ever
first
have
of all,
with
you are
this-
an absolute LeBron hater.
I am not a LeBron hater.
Yes,
okay?
yes, you are.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No,
you
I am
spit on the ground he walks on.
I'm forever grateful to his greatness because I'm a Heat fan, and those championship raids were a lot of fun. Do I like him as a dude? Not really. I mean, kind of
You
find
don't
him
even
annoying
know
and
the guy.
arrogant.
What do you mean you don't
I
like him
met
as a
him.
guy? What did you
I met
Did you
him.
get lunch with him?
Nah, I met him.
Did he
okay?
make you pay
I don't
the
like him.
tab?
It comes off as kind of arrogant, so I don't like him.
As a person,
Deal with it.
not a big fan.
No, not a big fan. Deal with
the
it. All right,
hell?
that's my opinion. As a player, I think he's great, and I'm always grateful for the championships he brought. So I'm not a LeBron hater. Okay, what I'm saying is that it would have to go 7 games.
And he has to score
They-
75
they-
points in each of them.
Yes, they lose by 2 in Game 7. That's the only chance he has of that happening. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's Steph Curry.
They're already talking about the odds that LeBron could be coming to Miami next season.
Oh my God! Here we go
It's not
again.
great.
Here we go.
They don't lead it, but yeah, they're already. It's not even just fans; it's other NBA players like fascinated with. Okay, it seems like every single bad play that you see J.R. Smith do, you then have that argument of like, okay, is this the moment that LeBron was gone?
Yeah.
That's where he finally decided to take off. You know, and it might not even be J.R. Smith that does it. You know, LeBron seemed equally frustrated the fact that, you know, have you seen the footage now where he's sitting on the bench afterwards? It didn't even make TV, where he asked Tyronn Lue, he's like going, do we have a timeout? Tyronn Lue's like, yeah. And then LeBron just doesn't say anything. He's like, he's blown away by the stupidity and incompetence and everything else happening all over the court. Not only just J.R. Smith, but his coach and his team and everybody else. He's like, gosh, does nobody have is everybody's head completely buried in their ass right now?
I think the moment that LeBron James made his decision to leave was last night, and it was in garbage time. 3 minutes left. Both benches were on the court, and Jordan Clarkson travels twice. It's like, that's the guy that's going to bail you out if you get too tired. He traveled twice.
Yeah.
And this is a league where they don't even
You
call traveling
traveled?
anymore.
Like, I mean, come on. You're going to be kidding me.
You have to run with the ball like a running back in order for them to call traveling in the
It's
NBA. at this point.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Travels twice in less than 2 minutes.
Well, I don't know what Vegas knows. I don't know if Vegas thinks that LeBron is coming back to Miami, but they've already done their odds for who's going to win next year's NBA championship.
This is weird, man.
The Heat are 5th.
This is
And
weird.
the
What's
odds in
what's
this.
the top 5?
The top 5 right now, you got Golden State to repeat again.
Uh-huh.
They're at 5-4, 7-2 odds on both the Rockets and the Sixers, 8-1 odds on the Celtics.
What?
All the best teams.
And then the Heat are tied with the Lakers at 21 odds
How about
to
that?
win the NBA title next year.
The Lakers.
The Lakers?
They didn't even make the
Who the hell's
playoffs.
making these odds?
Vegas.
Vegas. Those are the Vegas odds.
Yeah,
They're drunk.
that's what they got. Well, I think what it is, you look at the Lakers and you look, I think at the Heat, the only 2 explanations I have is they are giving odds on that LeBron could wind up at either one of those locations.
That's correct.
Not with their current rosters. That's not what they're pinning it on.
No.
They're pinning it on where's LeBron going to wind up, and this is what Vegas thinks.
Is that why Philadelphia is above Boston?
I mean, Philadelphia, well, I think it might just be because that might be a reason, but also because they were a really good team. I mean, they have a lot of good young talent in their building.
Because Boston very well could have gone to the finals this year.
well,
That's a good point.
And they're coming, and next year they come back with Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So
I don't think-
how are the Sixers above them when nothing's
I
changing?
think the reason is because they think the odds are better because the Sixers have the cap space, and there's no way that LeBron's going to go to Boston and for a great reunion with Kyrie. Could you imagine that ain't going to happen?
Unless
So
they ship Kyrie back to Cleveland.
I think all these odds have everything to do with LeBron and where he's going to go. That's what the odds are. When you're talking about the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Heat, that's what's going on with that.
It's amazing, isn't it? It makes you think, why are the Lakers and the Heat, two teams that have been mentioned for LeBron, why are they 20-1? They're ahead of the Cavs. The Cavs are 30-1.
It goes to show you LeBron changes everything, and that's why LeBron is your MVP.
It's the
win or lose.
full circle on that one.
LeBron is your
it's
MVP.
the LBA, LeBron Basketball Association.
Interesting stuff over the Stanley Cup Finals. And, boy, the Washington Capitals tried to match the excitement of what they did in Las Vegas. And if you want excitement, just call out Pat Sajak. Got that for you next.
Get Kevin's other show whenever the hell you want on YouTube and at 640thehurricane.com.
Body position by Niskanen, tumbling down there is Jay Beagle. It's sent back out to center, and the Capitals are going to take a 2-1 lead, winning it.
Oh, yeah. Seems like all the joy is over maybe for Vegas, or is it too soon to call?
I'm hoping not. I mean, I really want. I love this story of Vegas being, in their inaugural year and making it to the Cup and winning the Cup. It'd be great, but Capitals are just. Holtby is just an absolute monster. He is a vacuous human being. And it just how he's able to stop what he's able to stop is just it's unreal. But honestly, it's like you look back at Game 1, the highlights. There's no reason why the Golden Knights should have won that game. Like it should be 3-0 right now.
Think so?
Yeah.
So you see, it's like really, it's pretty much over, huh?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I mean, it's if Vegas can get it because they were on a tear, and now they come in and they win Game 1. It's like a good high, and then they lose Game 2 at home after a Game of Thrones episode. And then they go to Washington and they get snapped, and I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to come back because Washington has grabbed all of the momentum that Vegas had during the regular season and has put it all into the postseason. With that sport, it's about getting hot at the right time.
Well, it was kind of interesting. Even if you didn't watch the game, even before they got the whole thing going on, Vegas did that amazing pregame where they had the theatrics of Vegas.
The only thing they didn't have was Jon Snow.
Yeah, it was the...
on land,
can't forget that.
Sea and air.
And air.
The West belongs to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't think the Vikings ever thought about Vegas.
I mean, they've got all this excitement. It's just, action-packed and everything's going on. And then you look at the Washington Capitals, and maybe the best thing to do would have been just not even, done anything with any kind of pregame whatsoever. They call out Pat Sajak.
They really tried. It's the best they could do.
Pat Sajak is the answer that they have. Here was his very hyped intro.
Here to announce tonight's starting lineups. Please welcome longtime Cats season ticket holder, Pat Sajak.
They got the toe.
That was great. Thank you. You got a nice ovation, though.
Are you as excited as I am?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So far, I got to say, not bad. Hype meter's at about an 8.
Yeah, they can't redo what they did.
I am here in large measure because my family and I have had season tickets with the Capitals for 13 seasons now.
So that's all it takes, huh?
That's it.
13 years.
We sit right down here on the glass. Be sure to come down and say hello.
Not too close.
If you can get past our highly trained security details.
Okay, it's getting weird.
It goes on for quite a while.
I was going to say, was this a stand-up routine all of a sudden?
It reminded me of a bad best man speech. You go to a wedding and the best man just talks for too long, which I did that one time, by the way, and it was horrifying.
Well, there's no knights on skates.
Yeah.
There's no theatrics. It's just Pat Sajak and a microphone trying to hold it down.
Did he make fun of the fact that they did all the theatrics for Vegas?
No.
What a loss.
Did not address it.
It got super awkward.
Now I really want Vegas to win.
And then where it gets awkward is when he's doing the player intros for the Golden Knights.
In his 6th season, number 3, Brandon McNabb.
What?
Braden McNabb.
Yeah, well. Come on, man.
Who that guy?
Oh.
Whatever his name is.
13 years, huh? Never heard that name before? How long did he say he was at? 6th season?
13 seasons.
13 seasons my family and I have sat on the glass.
That's right.
Yes.
With their
We have
security
no
detail.
idea what's happening.
Yeah.
I've been blind for the last 3.
Everything was just kind of awkward. They go from Pat Sajak, and then they got the musical stylings of Sting and Shaggy.
What the hell?
What happened with that? Can someone explain to me? I went onto Twitter Saturday night.
It's such an odd friend pairing. It's like,
So weird.
not since Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart have we seen
Yeah.
a more awkward pairing of like, what? They're doing who?
Like,
Yeah, they got like. I think these two have like paired up for some kind of like a Rasta album, which, okay.
Is there? Wait, what, do you have the song? I didn't even know this happened.
Yeah.
Big fan of Sting. Big fan of Shaggy.
together might be kind of weird.
I don't know what this is gonna entail, but I just love the fact that Shaggy has a career as a musician, sounding like an actual Muppet.
He does.
Okay.
It didn't take me long to fall in
It's
love
not
with
just
your
like
mind.
So good.
I don't want even mention the way your body perfectly designed. So fine. I'm touching from your
This is so random.
It is.
It's so great.
More than just one night.
I'm happy with
But
it
now
though.
I'm ready for the next level and you're telling me you need more time.
I'm convinced 90% of the time he doesn't write actual lyrics.
And here is in the video, if you're watching, it's like they're just chilling in Jamaica, and it's like Sting could not look any more out of place.
He must have a lot of suntan lotion on.
Yeah.
I like this song. It's better than that new Backstreet Boys song, I can tell you that right now.
Hey now.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's got a nice little beachy feel to it.
Okay.
It's just so weird when Shaggy comes in.
Well, there you go. Sting and
Sting.
Shaggy.
I love it. Can't wait.
I'm
Buying
not
the
sure
album.
what do I like better, Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, or
The
Sting
question
and
is who
Shaggy?
gets higher together?
Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart.
You would think.
I
but
think so.
Maybe.
I don't think she dabbles in the devil's lettuce, my friend.
No?
Who? Martha?
Martha, does she smoke?
I
would
can
have-
see her.
I would-
I don't think she smokes.
I don't.
I don't think she's a toker. I think there's a better chance that Sting smokes weed than Martha Stewart.
I mean, he definitely does, right?
I guarantee you, Sting parties so hard probably scares the crap out of Shaggy.
Shaggy's like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
Well, I told you guys I was going to go check out Topgolf on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's fantastic.
The very
Bingo.
dangerous Topgolf.
It's not dangerous at all.
No, you're not going to fall off the third story there?
No, I
You
think
good?
you get even like Happy Gilmore in it, and they got a safety net.
Oh,
Like up the
okay.
yeah, they've already planned that out, because I'm sure somebody's like going, somebody's going to totally like try to like run up
Yeah.
and smack this ball, and they're going to go flipping right off the
Diener
edge.
was hoping you were going to fall off so it could be Diener's other show.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised he didn't like grease the.
Oops. Dude, no such
How'd
thing.
that happen?
Why is there KY jelly all over the place?
Yeah.
No such thing.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, they got a bar, they got the food right there. It's I'm gonna tell you, to me, I think it's like the future of golf, because nobody has the patience anymore. And who wants to go out for 4 to 5 hours and play 18 holes, especially when it's like blistering hot outside?
They have like fans and everything.
Yeah, they
It's
got
like-
fans. You're in the shade. You got cool drinks right there. And the better thing about it, you're not sitting there traveling forever from stroke to stroke. It's like you go and you knock 5 balls at a time. It keeps score for you. There's a sensor in the ball. And when you hit
Really?
it, when you hit it, it's got these targets. Like you hit it into, and it kind of like goes into the ground when you hit it right, and then it'll score it for you.
It's like a video game.
It is. It's like, and it's got the technical part of it. It's really
So
badass.
is there like a game too? You just like trying to see how many points you can get per like what holes
There's
you can put it
there's
in?
like 6 different games that you can dial up. The one that we did is you start the real short ones, and then you go mid range, and you go whatever, and you're trying to shoot at that target. But the thing that it does is, and I learned this the hard way, if you get it into the wrong target, you lose a point actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty sweet though.
So it's set up like skee ball almost, where like everything's slanted, so the
Yeah.
ball just falls down, and so you don't have to worry.
It
So
doesn't.
there's no guy out there with a cart that you can't hit with the ball. See,
They do.
that's
No,
kinda-
there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's someone out there always just kind of getting the, and you can do that
getting
if
the
you
balls
want.
ready.
Yeah, I mean, after you get really hammered, you'd be going, hit the guy in the cart. You lay down money on that, whatever you want to do.
That's yeah. I don't know why you would do anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, it was actually fantastic. So yeah, they're going to be opening up Doral. They're opening up the one in West Palm. So
That's
they've
gonna be
got,
cool.
yeah,
Where's the one in West Palm going?
it's going to be going Forest Hill and 95. It's going to be part of like the
dope.
yeah,
It's, like,
West
right around
Palm.
the corner.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a little bit off the road though, but you'll see it because
It's a monster structure, isn't it?
well, I mean, it's a decent sized structure, but what you're going to notice is you're going to notice the nets. They put up massively high nets. So if you're checking out the one that is in Miami Gardens, like coming off the turnpike, that's what you see. You see the nets that's up there. And while you're there looking, I mean, you've got a great view of the skyline, Hallandale Beach, and then you're right there. Yeah, Jackson Memorial's right off to your right. So,
Really? Oh, so
yeah.
it's that far south.
Yeah, it's that far south. Yeah, so that's where they're going to be plunking down a couple more. And I think they're doing one in Port St. Lucie, too, at Tradition, somebody said.
Cool.
Holy moly.
Going to be all over the place.
How many floors is it?
It's 3, the one that's in Miami Gardens.
Elevator?
Yeah, no. Stairs.
Really?
You can walk.
Hardcore. You're out? That was it? You realize that's why he asked that question. He is not walking upstairs.
No, I'm not. Come on, man.
Ricky Bobby is not
I'm
walking
not doing
upstairs.
the stairs.
Not doing it.
You expect me to do cardio there, too? Come on. I'm there to have a good time.
Did you guys watch any of the Memorial over the weekend? Like, it was exciting, like, Saturday morning because you're like, okay, Tiger Woods, like, 4 strokes off the lead.
I was getting excited. I was coming on here thinking I'm going to come on Monday getting ready to praise Tiger, and then it didn't work out.
No, and he bogeyed 16 and 18 and couldn't putt.
I just watched the playoff hole. That was the only one I watched.
Yeah.
With the guy's name that sounds like Rochambeau.
Yeah.
They just call him that.
I think it's Dochambeau or something like that.
Yeah, Deschambeau, I think, is the kid that won it. But they're saying again, well, this is something for Tiger to build on. How many damn tournaments do you have to play where all you can say is he has something to build on?
Thank you.
Listen.
That's like every tournament he plays, he's got something to build on.
2018 is a building phase for Tiger. Give him the whole year.
So it's 2019,
Dude,
2020.
he doesn't have many years to keep building.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Next year he's going to win the Masters.
They're going to be building his tomb soon.
Yeah. And is Serena Williams showing her age? You hear she backed out of the French Open.
She's had a very rough year.
Man, that was disappointing. I was really looking forward because I'm a tennis guy. I've watched tennis for a long time. My dad was
you're
into
a tennis
tennis.
guy?
I am. I grew up on
Big
tennis.
tennis guy? Like
My dad
tennis?
watched tennis and everything, so
Little
I was
skirts?
looking forward to Serena against Sharapova. And
Yeah, she got a
disappointing.
pec issue, something like that, a little muscle strain. But Plantation, Sloane Stevens, and Boca's Madison Keys are both in the quarterfinals. So
Wow.
still got some South Florida girls to
Yeah,
check out.
Serena's had a crazy year. You know, she had a baby. She killed someone. It's crazy.
No, that was Venus.
Oh, whatever.
Can we not?
Way to really stop on my joke there, you ass.
Well, listen, you're calling her a murderer. It's like, gotta defend her.
Sorry. Murder's in the family.
Ugh.
Got some good stuff. Local high school wins a state title. I'll let you know who. Good for FSU, FAU, Florida, and no, you're not going to be surprised by this. Marlins lose again.
Yes.
Talk about it next.
You can tell his wife. Just don't tell those other guys. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Six in a row, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Marlins get swept by the D-backs over the weekend.
Those are the Marlins I know and love right there.
Yeah. 6 straight they've lost. Did you see the day that Lewis Brinson had out in center field?
No, tell me about it.
There are 2 balls that he misses that you wonder if he's half blind or maybe completely blind. I mean, I'm serious. It was stunning. You're like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like he's going back. He's right in position, and the ball just goes right by his glove.
Wow.
I mean, he puts his hand up. It's like the stuff you see in 8-year-old little leaguers playing.
I was gonna say it's like Bad News Bears. I mean,
it's atrocious. I mean, this is a guy that batting the way he is. He's horrible in the field. He's horrible at the plate. I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, you got to send this guy down.
All-star material.
I mean, this guy doesn't belong in the majors. He really doesn't.
I feel bad because this was our guy, right?
I was going to say, isn't this like the big Marlins star?
He was the
Lewis Brinson,
local guy.
He was
Lou.
He was what your hope was. I mean, he was part of the Stanton trade, I guess, and came in. He's like what, from Coral Springs High?
Yeah, he was
like,
a Marlin fan growing up.
Yeah.
He didn't play for his childhood team.
Maybe he should have watched a better
tears
team.
in his eyes. Yeah,
terrible.
It'd have been nice.
If he grew up a Yankee fan, it might be different.
Yeah, it'd been a great story, but yeah, it was just awful. So the next round of Miami rebuilding begins tonight. MLB draft is going on. It's going to be the first one for Jeets.
I love this. I love that the freaking draft is in the not even the middle of the season, before the middle of the season.
Yeah.
It's televised for some odd reason.
Very randomly placed.
It's just, who does that? Who puts a draft in the middle of the friggin' season?
MLB.
It's June 4th.
What the hell is it? What do you draft? I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. Like, the other one's like a spectacular thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who's running it worse right now, the NFL or MLB.
No, that's a good question. I still say it's
well,
still
the
baseball.
NFL is like a spectacular thing. It's like they've got birds and they've got planes and
yeah.
Oh
my. Their draft is doing better.
Yeah.
The NFL. But I saw this thing out saying the NFL is now at an all-time low in popularity 35% of Americans say they have a favorable view of the league. 47% have unfavorable view of the NFL.
That's because that's what you do when you get yourself involved in politics, jackasses.
It's all about the anthem thing. Yeah, they took a poll the last week of May, and that's what came out of it. Yeah, I'd say MLB is still worse. Because you're right. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing the draft right now?
Yeah.
Like,
There's no reason for anybody to watch it.
Well, no one's really talking about it.
No, I didn't even know. You just told me.
Well, right. Well, and especially here in South Florida. I mean, there's so many things.
Who's got the number 1 overall pick?
Do we know that?
I don't know.
Do they
I
still
only looked
do
at
that?
the Marlins.
I'm assuming they just throw darts at a board.
I feel like it's Kansas City. Like, that's my guess. I'm just going Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even look at that part.
See? So much interest.
You know why we didn't look at it? Because it's a Monday, June 4th, and the draft is happening.
Well,
Monday. I mean, come on.
I guess arguably, too, in the NFL, you've got guys that are coming out of college football that you know. I mean, you're looking right now at the MLB draft, and, I mean, these are even, like, local guys, like Carter Stewart. He's he's a right-hander from Melbourne. They say he throws 98 miles an hour.
That's good.
And he apparently his curveball's wicked. So
the number 1 overall pick in the MLB draft will be the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, the Tigers. I didn't see that coming.
Yes, Marlins have number
13.
Yeah, 13.
They got 13, 53rd, and 69th.
Great.
Yeah, they say it's good. They say only the Cubs have more in the first 3 rounds. So if, Jeter doesn't blow it, they should pick up 3 good prospects.
And you'll see them in 4 years.
That's correct. And then you'll have them for a year, and then they will be traded.
Yeah, they say each of the past 3 World Series champs had at least 4 of their own first-round picks on their rosters.
Interesting.
So they say apparently this draft is something important. So
this is it. Is this the beginning of Jeter's big project here? This is how his culmination now, having 3 first-round picks or whatever it is?
But I don't think for, how many years, yeah.
Is it 3 picks or
whatever it is?
What do they do there?
How many picks are in a round? I don't know. You said they have like the 69th pick or something.
Names in a hat or something?
They do say that the 3 pick 1, 2, and 3 could all be Florida Gators.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's pretty impressive. And who is FAU's opponent in the College World Series coming up?
Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wow.
well done.
Yeah, in fact, I think they're playing right now.
So much exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, game started at 1 o'clock. So
I don't know. I think I saw that it might have been delayed starting at 1. I think they got some type of rain delay.
Okay. It's possible.
Well,
Yeah,
they have a watch party for the MLB draft. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Make sure they can see that.
I think they had a delay.
Yeah.
So
FAU's got to beat them twice. That's apparently the deal going on there.
The double elimination round robin thing. So FAU already lost once.
FSU is women's college softball. They are in the finals.
Yeah, they were killing it.
I gotta tell you, man, I love watching women's softball.
Really?
It's really fun. Like, I like it better than watching baseball.
I gotta tell you, arguably, it's a faster sport. There's
Much
more
faster.
strategy involved with it.
Closer.
Yeah. I mean, there are some girls, because, I coach because my daughter played, and honestly, I'm telling you, like, there is a lot more in it. There's some girls that are so fast, they get down to first base in, like, 2.5 to 2.7 seconds.
Guacamole. Wow, that's fast.
And if they hit the ball on the ground, it's impossible to throw them out. Like, there are girls, and some of the girls that play, they hit 600 or 700s their batting average.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you can't throw them out. They're that quick.
It's kind of ridiculous. And it's fun, and it's like I'm always amazed how they throw underhand so fast and accurate. That blows my mind.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's much more interesting than watching baseball a lot of times.
Well, keep in mind, they're not throwing from as far back as baseball is either. So even though it's like they're throwing high 60s, it comes in like it's 100.
It's, what is it, like 45 feet or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't understand how they do it.
Yeah, in fact, one of the star pitchers for Florida State's a Jupiter girl, Kylie Hansen. So she struck my daughter out the fastest I've ever seen.
Really?
My life. My daughter, I think, thought she had 2 strikes and it was 3.
Oh, gosh.
It was that quick.
Your daughter's still standing at the plate
She
right
said,
now.
What? She's like, couldn't even believe it.
What's happening?
And props to Jupiter High. They won their first state baseball championship.
Nice.
Warriors, baby. They just won the lacrosse state championship, too.
Powerhouse over there.
Yeah, so they picked up a few.
Giving up
So
the local
congrats to
sports.
them. Yeah. Coming up here in just a bit, also talking a little bit about baseball and softball. You know what's wicked is when they have men playing softball. Did you guys see the video of Clay Matthews taking that shot to the face?
Right in the dome piece.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it was horrifying. Men's softball is that way, and I honestly don't get it. Like, my wife and I, one time we came out, somebody's like, oh, come out to our co-ed league. If you see this video of Clay Matthews, some dude, Patrick, I'm not sure who hit the ball, but it's this guy, has to be a lineman or something. Massive dude, probably weighs about 360. Clay Matthews pitches it, and just and you can't even see the ball. It just goes smack right into his face. Just bam.
Yeah, you just see him grab his face. You don't even, like you said, you don't even see the ball go. You just see him hit the ball, and then Clay Matthews grabs his face.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it drops Clay Matthews, who's not a small boy, on top of it. Just drops him.
It hurts. It hurts getting hit in the face with a ball. It's happened to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but you didn't have a guy who was like 360 and could like bench press 500 pounds.
No, that's true.
Hitting a ball like
Quite
that.
honestly, if Clay Matthews wasn't built the way he is, that might have killed him.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a lesser man, that ball might have
pushed
gone
his
through
nose
face.
right into his brain.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it was insane. I was sitting there, and the first time my wife and I went out to play co-ed softball, some of these guys are like these guys that, I was talking to this lady in the dugout. She's like, yeah, some of these guys are a little frustrated guys that like had to drop out of college or didn't make the MLB, and they're zipping it around like crazy. She's like, this is my first game back. She said, about 6 months ago, I had my entire face caved in. I was trying to slide into second, and they threw it off my face, and my whole orbital bone cracked, and it was like, and I'm sitting there like going, this will be my last time ever playing co-ed. So, I mean, it's crazy. I'm like going, yeah, I'd have to see what happened to Clay Matthews. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're in radio.
Yeah.
No,
I'm out. Coming up here in a couple minutes, a couple Miami Hurricane players nominated for the College Football Hall of Fame.
Whoa. Who
should make it and who would Diener say is still on that list that should get in? We'll discuss coming up next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
If you had to say, Diener, who is the greatest Miami Hurricane college football player of all time?
Good Lord.
Of all time.
Of all time. If you had to say, who is the best player that has ever put on a Miami Hurricane uniform?
Jeez.
Michael Irvin?
He's definitely up there. I mean, you have to go just with
Warren
college.
Sapp?
No. I mean, he was great. Don't get me wrong. He's not the greatest. I'm
Ray
thinking
Lewis?
I was either Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, and Andre Johnson. Those are the three that come to mind. Because with their NFL career by itself, what those guys did in college, it was like watching LeBron James, do what he did in high school. It was a men amongst boys. Andre Johnson especially, man, that guy was just a beast at wide receiver in those games. You couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
I would say those are the three that come to mind.
They're talking about trying to put 3 more Hurricanes on the ballot for this year's College Football Hall of Fame. Ray Lewis is going to be on it. You would think he's right in.
It's amazing. Is he in the NFL Hall of Fame now? Did he make it in the NFL? Is he not in the Hurricane Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is he?
I think he just made it in, right, with T.O. and all those guys in this past class.
Might have you got to be, out 5 years? Is that what it is?
I think he was in that one this past, what was that, August? So we're talking almost a year ago?
He was inducted this year, 2018.
2018.
Yeah, with Brian Urlacher.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Is it me, or does the NFL not seem to care as much about some of those questionable character issues when it comes to putting somebody in the Hall of Fame? Baseball's got a lot of guys like your Pete Rose, like going, "Oh, they'll never make the Hall of Fame." I don't know. Maybe they were doping it up. Maybe they're doing the roids. Do we ever hear that with the NFL? Does NFL ever have any character? Is anyone not made the NFL Hall of Fame because they're like going, "Oh, I don't know."
Lawrence Taylor's in there. Ray Lewis is in there.
Yeah, I don't think they care about it all that much.
Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, they just got in, too.
Well, this is what I'm saying about baseball, though. Is like baseball has they're just like, bah, get off my lawn, and like,
was it right or wrong? I mean, should you maybe have there's some character issues that could keep you out of the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
is that the right thing to do?
Ray Lewis might have killed somebody.
Allegedly,
Hall
he
of
was
Fame.
found not guilty.
Hall of Fame.
Not guilty.
Okay, not guilty. Yeah, because the witness didn't show up.
He was acquitted.
What would you think about Pac-Man Jones? Do you think he's an eventual NFL Hall of Famer?
He didn't have the career for it.
Yeah,
he could have been.
He's a Hall of Fame scumbag. Yes, but
okay, but let's say he had better numbers than what he did.
Yeah,
he's punched how many women in the face?
A few.
Oh, first ballot.
He's a first ballot. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, first ballot. The NFL doesn't care about that.
No, they don't seem to. It's amazing.
They don't care about women.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of has one
anything?
NFL player ever been held out of the Hall of Fame because I don't know, they've got kind of a shady passer. I mean, and there are some too that have had, they failed drug tests.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so think of it this way. If Ray Rice had gotten a second chance and he was still playing today and has built himself a Hall of Fame career, does he make it in?
I think he would make the NFL Hall of Fame, right? I mean, because right now, do you have precedent for anyone ever being held out for any kind of character issues?
Adrian Peterson. Is Adrian Peterson going to go to the Hall of Fame?
That's going to be your first real test when it comes
I think that's going to be the first time we're looking at it. Well, if you
for
think
the
about,
abuse side.
We think about this. I mean, Darren Sharper probably would have made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, see, now that one you can't have because he went to jail for rape. So
yeah,
he's kind of out.
For like 5 women. So,
yes.
I mean, it's like it's interesting on that, but I really think that the conversation is going to come up when we talk about Adrian Peterson because he beat the crap out of his kid.
And he is a Hall of Fame player.
Yes.
Well, was Darren Sharper, did he have a Hall of Fame career? He was pretty good. He was very good. He won a Super Bowl.
Pretty positive he did.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, it's be interesting to see how they take that, but
Ray Cruz wasn't close enough, was he?
Oh, jeez. Come on.
Can you do a closed circuit from prison? Is that possible?
Well, that's what I'm saying with
Can
Darren
they put
Sharper.
the jacket on him from his cell?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Darren Sharper got 18 years for drugging and raping women.
Yeah, that's not good.
So I don't think that's going to work out for him. But, I mean, it's going to be an interesting conversation when Adrian Peterson comes around because a lot of people, the league was kind of divided on that, if you think about it. A lot of people were just like, he was just disciplining his kid.
He's going to make it in. I think he makes it in. I don't think he's going to be first ballot. I think they will try to prove a point.
A little pushback in the beginning?
Yeah. Probably the second year he makes it in.
That's when the people that are knocked out of baseball should be like, you got to be freaking kidding me.
So
man.
who has it right
This
then?
guy beat his kid.
Who has it right? Is it baseball or is it football? Is football too much the other way in base? I mean,
I don't think baseball has it right because baseball's trying to, in some instances, they're trying to do this like moral judgment thing. But then you got somebody like Ty Cobb, who is a ruthless racist that is right there in the Hall of Fame, and there's nothing about him. They're not taking anyone out of the Hall of Fame. So I mean, if we're going to play this.
Well, Kevin, it was a different time, Kevin.
Doesn't matter. I mean, under what standards are we judging anything?
It doesn't make any sense.
So, I mean, and then also, too, standards change. I mean, standards today are changing faster than ever.
Yeah.
What we will tolerate today is a lot less than they were tolerating 50, 60 years ago.
But then you see, then the conversation becomes, well, what's their Hall of Fame career based on? Is it based on what they did on the field or off the field or both? How much of it is morality and politics play into a guy getting into his respective sports Hall of Fame?
Pete Rose should be the most pissed off.
Yes.
Out of all of them, because there was no HGH, it was the gambling thing,
right?
And I mean, he played, had a Hall of Fame career, should be in the Hall of Fame, not in the Hall of Fame because of that. But that he's the one that should get really mad.
I think you look at the Hall of Fame as two different things. Is a Hall of Fame something that is overall just you're a great person who played our sport to a level that no one else hardly did? Or is it just basically a history of the league and the best players we've had, irregardless of what your character is?
Well, yes, and I think that's what it should really be judged on. You're based on judging your statistic. That's what I'm saying.
As long as your performance is not tainted by any kind of cheating that would have given you an edge that would, fudge your numbers.
Yeah.
It probably should be that, right? Because otherwise, if we're always trying to say, well, we're going to put character into it as well, character issues, and it's all about the people that are judging you. You're being judged by people in the standards of that time, and you're going to probably always have, well, why is that guy in the Hall of Fame? That guy's a bigger scumbag than this guy in 30 years. It's not going to get in.
Yeah.
There has to be, I think, a certain level of scumbagginess to where we figure out, okay, what level are we going to look at and say you are disqualified? Darren Sharper, he is disqualified.
Yes,
because
raping and drugging women.
Yes, so you are disqualified
because of a character issue, not because of what was done on the field.
Correct.
But see, this is the thing. So if we allow Adrian Peterson to go into the NFL Hall of Fame, then what the hell is the issue with Pete Rose going into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame? He never took HGH. He didn't do anything on the field. He just gambled. And they can never prove that he gambled against his own team.
No, I agree with you. He should have been in a long time ago. But those are, well, you'll have other people say is that those are two separate issues.
Maybe the best to play our sport ever that hasn't been convicted of a felony.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, but then you would
They're going to have a very short list, I think.
What about Joe Paterno, College Football Hall of Fame?
That one's so subjective too because
moral character there.
They brought everything back to Penn State, right? I mean, in the fallout from the initial scandal, how long is that? Is that 10 years ago now? Maybe.
Probably getting close to it.
Jesus.
The statue comes down and everything like that.
Yeah.
Well, now they have his, memorials are back up. I don't think it's the same statue, but they have brought some things back because enough time has passed where they feel like, okay, we should respect what he did here.
Yeah. They put the statue back up as hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, I think.
Okay, but then does somebody like Joe Pa, you take him out of the College Football Hall of Fame?
I mean, if you're going on morality, then no, he shouldn't be in there.
I mean,
regardless. I mean,
you can't take someone out, though. WWE did this, not to get into wrestling because I know you guys are going to make fun of me. But WWE did this just for an example. You almost lost your eyes. They rolled so far back in your head.
Oh, my God.
He's just ready to shut your freaking mic off. That's why.
But they did with Hulk Hogan. Remember when he went on that racist rant a few years back? They took him out.
Yeah, but they don't have the same kind of standards as any other sport.
Well, I'm saying that was Hulk Hogan.
It's a bit different.
He's the Michael Jordan of wrestling.
These guys get away with using HGH on the regular.
Yeah.
They encourage it. The bigger you are, the better.
And these people's results aren't scripted.
This is also true. Yes.
Insane.
It wasn't the NFL execs go, listen, I think Adrian Peterson should beat his kid this season. Nay, what do you got?
Well, to me, it's like if you're convicted of something in a court of law, then that's maybe when you do it. Otherwise, you're talking about subjective moral judgment on whether or not you're going to allow some people in, on what might be circumstantial evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody's dedicated their life and they got the numbers without any kind of cheating that happened on the field, should you be able to do that when it comes to a Hall of Fame?
It's so hard. I mean, now it's like everybody's judged on morality. So it's like I think once we start getting into the new inductees, this is the conversation that should be had because how are we supposed to judge it from here on out?
Mm-hmm.
That's really the question. How we've judged it back then is what it is because the moral structure of our country has changed dramatically in a year.
Right.
So it's now we have to look at it. It's like Adrian Peterson should not be in the Hall of Fame if you're judging everything based on morality.
Was he convicted of a felony?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
But there was pictures that proved that he beat his kid.
Okay.
And showed up stoned to court. Which is great.
Did he?
Oh, super stoned. And he would admit it. Like, yeah, I was high.
Is that how he said it? Was he a Muppet?
It wasn't me.
Dennis Erickson and Dan Morgan are your other two candidates.
Oh, absolutely. Dan Morgan played with so many concussions. God bless that guy. He was a mess. He was such a mess.
By the end of it, he was like,
it feels so bad for him.
All right, check out this show on YouTube. You also got the podcast, and on Twitter, you just got to search for it for Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.